Do you know your numbers? I'm Sam.
And I'm Phil from Firewave.
And in this video, we're going to talk to you about what numbers you need to know in your agency to make sure that you're doing the right things in the right order for maximum growth and profitability. In this Whiteboard Wednesday, we're going to talk to you about the numbers that we track in our area to make sure we're doing what we should be doing and make sure that we understand our area and what it actually has to offer in terms of stock. So very importantly, first of all, we know the population of our area. We actually knew approximately, didn't we? We did Google it again, but we knew approximately.
We did, and we always get a lot of different things thrown at us, like you've got a lot of high value homes, you've got a big area. Our population is only 41,000.
And just to put this in context, when you're a Firewave member, we give you 150,000 population instead. So that is a really small number for us to make it a profitable area.
Especially when you have huge mountains in between them all.
And lakes to drive around.
Yes, or swim over.
Now our households are higher than you would expect for 41,000 population, because usually there's about 2.2, 2.25 per household versus population. So 2.25 people live on average in every single household in the UK. But ours isn't, I don't even know what that is actually. It's under 2, isn't it? And that's because we've got very high number of holiday homes in our area. So there's a lot of houses that aren't actually lived in.
Yeah, it is under 2. So with 24,511 households in the area, what percentage would you expect to be on the market?
Well, I would normally say about 3%. So in the UK as a whole, it's somewhere between 2% and 4% of properties on the market at any one time. So 2% if you're in fast moving, maybe more of an urban environment, and 4% if you're in more of a sort of slow moving rural environment as we are. So 5% is really high.
Yeah, so not only is that high, generally speaking, after the year we've had, it's ridiculously high, isn't it?
Yeah, it is really, really high. So that's a surprise to me, and there's lots of interpretations we could put on that.
And then what percentage of homes would you suggest should be over 500,000?
Well, I would have thought between 15 and 20% in our area, but again, that's 9%, so that's unusual at the moment. So there's only 150 homes in the whole of the Lake District, so remember 41,000 population, they're on the market £500,000 and more, so I think that's pretty low, really.
This could be low, the 500,000, because this is so high.
Well, that's true too, yeah. And also we've had a very strange last 12 months, haven't we?
We certainly have.
So some people are not wanting to move because they're fearful of moving and they don't want to even start the process in this current situation in such uncertain times. And other people have had to move, and maybe maybe that represents some of the under £500,000 people. So I don't know. I'm open to interpretation, but they are very interesting figures. And if we'd done this a year ago, we'd just be looking at a very different picture.
How does knowing these figures change your marketing strategy?
I think, when you go and see some people on a valuation, some people are very left brain. I'm quite a left brain person. I like to know the stats and the figures for my area and for the industry. So when somebody's sitting in front of me telling me that they're an expert in their particular field, I want to know that they know the numbers. So I think it does give you credibility and it helps you get a handle on it, because the number of our clients, and actually non-clients, that we ask, what's the population of your town, city or area, and they have absolutely no clue whatsoever, is very, very high. So I think that you need to know these statistics in your area. You need to know your area, and you need to know it thoroughly and comprehensively. And this is a starting point, really.
Would you say that it was fair to say that you cannot have local property expert on your Facebook until you know these figures?
Smash down LPE. Not for me, thank you. But no, I do regard myself as a local property expert, probably not in your heady realm, but definitely in my own way. I track these figures on a monthly basis. So if you're not tracking these figures, obviously population isn't going to move much. And in fact, I don't know if you know, but the census happens every 10 years, and that's due to happen this year, in 2021.
Yeah, so this will be a bit out.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how that is affected. Households, again, I like to know, what's the population versus the households, how does that fit? And then on market, 500Ks and 1 millions are really interesting to us. So for example, last year, there was only 7 £1 million plus properties sold in the whole of the Lake District.
The year before, yeah.
And the year before, and we sold, I think, 3 or 4 of them, hadn't we, out of 53 other estate agents. And it just gives you credibility. If you can reel off a number like that, it gives you more credibility. I was talking to somebody recently that said that they'd heard of a house just selling in the Lake District for 6 million. Now I know that that's not true, but I only know it's not true because we've been tracking the numbers since we opened and seeing exactly what has sold in the history of sales in the Lake District. And the most expensive house ever sold, fingers crossed, is down to us at 3.5 million, just before we get to exchange. Hopefully I didn't speak too soon. But then, so I know that at 6.5 million, which is what the story was, it's just not true. And that gives you the credibility of knowing that that's not true.
We also put ourselves into these figures. So if there's 150 homes on the market over 500,000, what percentage are those selling through us?
Yeah.
And that's something that we gauge and we target ourselves on. And
we also target ourselves on how many properties we have got over 500,000. So what of our stock have we got 500,000? And I think the last time we looked at that, which was last Tuesday, now I've completely forgotten. I think it was something like, was it 60 or 70% of our properties? Yeah. And we usually got about 25 to 30 properties on the market, and at the moment our stock is really, really low, with about the same number as going through pipeline. So, but there are numbers. Your numbers will be very, very different. My question to you, our question to you is, do you know your numbers? Because these are the reasons why you need to know them. So credibility, local expertise, positioning as an expert, and gives you content.
Yeah, and they're so easy to find. Literally just Google them. You'll have them in 2 or 3 minutes. That's
exactly how long it took us to find these numbers for our area. So there you go. These are the numbers. Population, households on market, 500k and over, £1 million and over. Find yours, and we'd love to hear from you what yours are. And if you'd like to know more about being a Firewave member, what you need to do...
How you grow your percentage.
How you grow your percentage of over 500,000 and beyond, then just go to fire-wave.co.uk/start and find out if anybody else has already stolen your area, or if your area is up for grabs and you'd like to have a conversation with us. So we'll see you on the next Whiteboard Wednesday, and take care. No idea, I just said take care.
Take care.
Take care.